Hey, my name is Fabian Dolan. This is how I got good at guitar. The goal of this channel is to help you become an advanced player without actually having to pay for a university degree like I did. So if you're currently annoying your neighbors with your horrible playing and you want to make them give you compliments, check the link below in the description. And again, at any point in this video, if you have any questions or anything confuse you, please feel free to message me on Instagram. I'll give you some advice over there. I just want to start out by showing you my journey on the instrument, what I used to sound like, and hopefully I can give you a bit of hope and inspiration that you can actually advance your playing as well. So if you currently feel like you're stuck in that awkward intermediate stage, again, I've been in your shoes, I know how to get out of them. So this is me here as an intermediate. I wasn't very proud of that, and I managed to actually change my playing to a point that I was proud of. I think I advanced quite a bit on the instrument, and I sounded good and unique, right? Again, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't really know many players that really sounds like. I've got my own original unique style. So yeah, I figured out how to get better. So I know what I'm talking about here. So just want to give you some advice for this video. Again, this is an educational video. It's not entertainment. So if you're looking to be entertained, please go elsewhere. I've got some nice comments here from some viewers before who, again, have been educated. Again, the goal of this is education, is to make you better. And again, some nice words from previous students as well. So today we're going to go over muting the strings. This is probably why you sound quite sloppy as a guitarist. This is what is giving you bad technique. At least this is definitely a big part of it. So we're going to go over what muted sounds like versus not muting your strings. And then we're going to cover how muting looks different on the left hand and right hand, because we can use both of our hands to mute the sound of the instrument. So the reason your playing most likely sounds sloppy is because you can't really control the strings. Being good at guitar and sounding like a professional is all about controlling the strings properly. So this means that when you're playing sloppy, you unintentionally hit the wrong strings, which again is normal. We can't always have 100% accuracy, but you don't know how to mask that mistake, and then the string rings out and it sounds ugly while you're playing over your guitar, right? Things just sound off and sloppy and kind of messy, and this is going to be part of it. A big reason is our left hand, our fretting hand muting. We need to make sure that we know what to do here in order to sound good on the instrument. So we need to learn how to mute and control the strings in order to sound more professional. So I'm just going to give you an example of what it sounds like when we don't mute the strings, and an example of what happens when we do mute the strings. So I'm sure all of us have heard this riff before. Let me play it for you. Alright. Right, you can hear that sounds awful. That sounds terrible. I wasn't muting any strings. I was making it try to sound as bad on purpose, right? That was can't stop. You can hear when I play a note, all the other strings ring out. It's messy, it's horrible. Now if I try and play that a bit more clean and I mute the strings, you'll hear it sounds a lot more professional. So this is what professional guitarists are doing to sound good. They have control over the strings, mainly with their left hand muting, right? So, as intermediate guitarists that don't really know what we're doing yet, we need to learn how to control the strings properly with muting. And again, there are some key details, especially with left hand muting, that I think people haven't really gone over yet before. So we've covered what muting is, and again what muting sounds like when you use it on the guitar, and then what happens when you're not muting properly. Again, everything sounds messy and sloppy. So yeah, left hand muting. We want to get to the point where we can strum every single string, so we can go through all of them and only have one note that we're fretting ring out. So for example, if I show you on the guitar here on the camera, I'm only going to play one note. That's going to be this note C on the 3rd fret. However, my finger is positioned in such a way that I can play through every single string. And you can hear only C rings. I'm hitting every single string on the guitar, but because I know how to mute with my left hand, I can precisely get the note I want. So this comes from using the tip of our index finger. So we want to place the note and then ever so slightly, just very lightly, make sure that our finger is touching the string above. This way, it kind of deadens the note a bit. You can hear it's not playing cleanly. If I removed my finger there, right? So we want to use this index finger to not only mute strings beneath it, but also the strings above. If you can't do any of this yet, what I want you to practice, just getting your index finger out like this, and just literally lightly hovering over the string, and then strumming. It should sound dead. The notes should not come out. Should sound like you're killing every single note. So what you want to be able to do is then press a note with your index finger, and then also lightly touch all the strings beneath it so that they become dead. You can hear that, right? And then once you add all of that together, you mute the notes. Again, if you're new to left hand muting, I'd recommend that you learn the song Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's going to teach you how to do this left hand fretting muting. And again, as we get more advanced, we can also use our middle finger, this one, to deaden and silence notes. You can hear I'm deadening that note with my middle finger, right? Cool. So that was left hand muting. Now we've got to go over right hand muting a bit. So I'm gonna have to move this a bit more. So with right hand muting, we want to make sure that the fleshy part of our hand, you can see this here, right? This kind of fat part here on my hand, this bit right where the pinky meets the wrist, sits on the saddle, which is this metal bit where the strings come out of the guitar. So start by placing it below the strings, and then ever so slightly walk up, and you'll hear that it mutes everything. It deadens and dampens the sounds. This is useful for like playing single note melody lines, and we want to like change the articulation and the dynamics of a note. Like if we want to make it go from like soft and quiet to then nice and loud, we kind of mute, then take the hand off a bit and then put it back. And again, this is also good for being able to dampen chords as well. So if we've got like an open chord, like right, so we can use the right hand muting to affect the articulation and the dynamics of a note. This is more kind of stylistic. This is kind of just a nice kind of flavour to add to a sound. Whereas I believe the left hand muting is a lot more fundamental to our guitar playing and making sure that we sound clean and we don't sound sloppy, and that we make sure that no unwanted notes are ringing out. So yeah, again, Practice this by placing the fleshy part of your lower hand on the saddle of the bridge, then ever so slightly move it forward until the note dampens. So if I play everything here, and you can hear I just have to bring it a slight bit forward, and everything gets muted. And the further you go up, the more muted everything is, right? This is completely dead here. You can't hear that at all. So, we've gone over what muted versus not muted sounds like, left hand muting and right hand muting. Again, if at any point you got confused by this video, again, message me on Instagram, links in the description, and I'll be able to offer you some advice. So, this has been how I got good at guitar. You can go from intermediate to advanced without having to pay for a degree like I did. And again, if you want to be able to progress faster in just 1 month than the past whole entire year that you've been practicing, check the link below in the description. Again, well done for making it towards the end. Respect. Subscribe for more high quality guides. And again, if you've got any questions, message me on Instagram. Sweet. Take care.